Hello, I'm Eric Apple, Principal and Founder of Eric Apple Law. Welcome to another edition of our Blogpod. Today, we're talking about choosing a trustee for your special needs trust. In an earlier Blogpod, we introduced you to special needs trusts, and when you create a special needs trust for a loved one, you'll likely name yourself as trustee to manage the trust while you're alive. But who will take over the trust when you're no longer around to make sure that things go right? Choosing the right trustee for any trust is a difficult and extremely important decision because trusts operate on an honor system. The law does impose a duty on trustees to honestly and faithfully carry out the trust terms, but in most cases, there is no court supervision. In the case of choosing the right trustee for the trust you've created to protect your loved one with special needs, the decision is even more important, particularly if your loved one is a young child. Let's take a look at the people you may be contemplating and some of the things that are important to consider. First, let's take a look at the family members you may automatically consider when deciding on a trustee. Your parents. Your parents may be the first people you consider nominating. After all, your parents know and love your children and understand your wishes. However, this is only a temporary solution, as your special needs trust must protect your loved ones with special needs for their entire lifetime, and it's likely your child will outlive their grandparents. Your siblings may be your second choice. Like your parents, this may be a good temporary solution. However, the same drawback applies here as well. Your siblings are unlikely to outlast the trust itself, and you'll need a successor trustee. Your other children may be another viable option. This option seems logical to many couples because their children know one another well and are roughly the same age. However, you must consider a number of factors with this option. The role and responsibilities of trustee can be immense. Do your other children have the time and capacity to serve as trustee? You need to consider the dynamics of your family. Should you name all your children as co-trustees? Or should only one of them be named as sole trustee? And how will this impact the relationship between family members? Will you be perceived as playing favorites? Next, there are several things to consider when selecting a family member as a trustee. These are some of the things you should think about when deciding on a trustee. The relationship. Family members may share wonderful relationships and enjoy each other's company. However, as a trustee, a family member may occasionally need to say no when a beneficiary asks for money from the special needs trust. This new role as a trustee can put a strain on a relationship, especially if the trustee is not used to refusing a beneficiary's request, and the beneficiary may not be able to understand why a previously forthcoming family member is no longer as amenable as they were before. The complexity of government benefit regulations. The rules for the government benefits that special needs beneficiaries receive are complex. A trustee will need to spend significant time learning about and complying with the rules governing how trust distributions could affect the beneficiary's government assistance. There are also certain notices a trustee must send to government agencies and times when they must speak to or even occasionally argue with the agency representatives to ensure the beneficiary's benefits are preserved. Getting the taxes done correctly. If a trustee is not well versed in the tax rules and does not know what a Schedule K-1 is used for or what a 1041 tax return looks like, they won't know what tax deductions a trust might take, in which case a trustee will clearly need the advice of a tax professional. The inherent conflict of interest. It is common that upon the death of a special needs beneficiary, siblings may inherit any monies left in the special needs trust. In cases where a sibling is a trustee, while they may be trustworthy and love their sibling, the more money spent on the sibling who is the beneficiary during their lifetime, the less money will remain for the sibling who is the trustee upon the beneficiary's death. Wearing the two hats of a current trustee and a future beneficiary could create a conflict of interest. Potential liability. Clients should consider that even a trustee with the best intentions may create liability for themselves due to a breach of duties when managing the special needs trust. For example, the trustee inadvertently might make an improper distribution or fail to file a required accounting. Unlike professional trustees, family member trustees typically do not carry insurance to cover any liability created during the term of the trust. Costs. Naming a family trustee seems like a cost saver. However, you should consider all the other costs involved in order for a family member to properly fulfill the role of trustee. For instance, the trustee's duties involve proper investment management, navigating the complex rules of various government benefits, ensuring that tax returns are filed properly, and assuring that proper records are kept for distributions, expenses, and taxes. If a trustee is not an expert in government benefits, trust taxation, or money management, they will definitely need help. The professionals required to handle these matters will cost the trust money, which may make hiring a professional trustee who can perform all of these functions less expensive in the long run. In the end, the selection of a family member as a trustee of a special needs trust may not be as inexpensive or simple as you may originally think. A compromise. There also are advantages to naming a trustee who knows and loves the beneficiary. In this case, they have a pretty clear understanding of the beneficiary's likes and dislikes and needs on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. They can exercise good judgment in approving distributions to meet beneficiaries' needs with the advice of someone well-versed in the distribution rules. In this case, you may consider choosing a family member to act as a co-trustee with a local professional trustee. It will be important for the document creating the special needs trust to clearly define the different roles of the co-trustees. The professional trustee would handle administrative tasks like tax matters, investments, and record keeping. A professional trustee with experience managing many special needs trusts also would advise the family member on the effect any particular distribution might have on the beneficiary's benefits. Lastly, a bank or trust company may be another option some couples consider to carry out their wishes. Most banks, brokerage houses, and trust companies will only accept large trusts, ranging from a minimum of $300,000 to more than $1 million. Many will not accept special needs trusts at all. However, if you have a special needs trust that meets the institution's minimum requirements and the institution's trust department has an outstanding reputation, this may be another long-term option worth considering. As you can see, there are many factors to take into account. If you're choosing a family member, the most important thing is to talk to them in advance, clearly explain to them what conditions they would serve and what their duties would be. See if they have any questions and make sure they're willing to accept the role you assign to them. Otherwise, when it comes time for them to serve, they might decline. An estate planning attorney can help guide you through the various options and help you choose the trustee, combination of co-trustees, temporary trustees, and successor trustees that are best suited to your particular situation and needs. Stay tuned for our next blog pod, and in the meantime, if you'd like to find out more about estate planning, please feel free to visit our website at ericappellaw.com, where you can learn more, give us a call, or drop us a note. Until next time, thank you for joining us here. Please like, subscribe, and share so we can help you and your loved ones become more informed and we can work together to live more powerfully into the future.